So let me, again, as I've indicated before, and I want to make it clear that, as I indicated before, while the reason why I will not be going into the analysis that was provided and the discussion that we had between myself and the team is because
I understand
and that is why I have not gone into that type of discussion. What I can tell you is that determine whether
but my
the elements
specific
had been
question
met.
to you, Madam Attorney General, is what element of which offense did you find lacking from an evidentiary standpoint?
Well, I would say that in order to answer that,
Don't you think
Yes.
public perception in a single track justice system is important enough that you could at least touch on what you thought was lacking?
Congressman, in this case, and while I understand that it is frustrating to a number of people, civilians as well as members of this body alike, we have taken extraordinary steps to discuss this matter in ways that typically we do not,
Let me ask you
particularly when
this.
charges are not brought. And as I indicated before, just so it's clear, my reasons for not going into the substance of the information that I receive and review before I made my decision to accept the recommendation are
With all due respect, Madam Attorney General, you can do all of what you just described and still tell the people what element. I mean, the elements of a criminal offense are public, so there's no secret there. And for you to go through the elements and say, as Director Comey did, he said there was no specific intent. I'm out of time, but I suspect you have prosecuted reckless homicide cases, haven't you?
in the context of violent crime.
How about involuntary manslaughter?
For the department or personally?
No, just as a prosecutor. There's involuntary manslaughter, there's reckless homicide, there's felony DUI where you really didn't mean to hurt anybody. You really didn't, but you did. And this lack of specific intent is not a defense in any of those cases. So I think the public would like to know how you determined she did not have the intent to break the law and why you are applying a specific intent requirement here when you don't even do it in certain homicide cases.
Well, Congressman, as I've said, I think you've mentioned a number of state cases there. But as I've said, the reason why I am not going into the discussion I had and providing that particular level of information, although the FBI director did choose to do so, is that
I'm out of time. The only thing I find frustrating is that even after this and Director Comey, people still believe that if you are famous, there's a different set of rules than if people don't know your name. And I think you're missing a wonderful opportunity to say with specificity which evidentiary element you found lacking. So Congress can go fix the statute if you think we need to, but right now, we have no idea whether or not a President Lynch could do exactly what Secretary Clinton did, or whether President Clinton could do exactly what Secretary Clinton did. And I think that lack of clarity is bad for the Republic, quite frankly.